Hi YouTubers, this is Kai here. Today I'm here to talk to you about what dental assistants do to open up the dental office and what a dental assistant would do to close the dental office. Some of these things will change depending on where you work. There's extra things that might not be included in this list that I'm going to go over, but I'm going over the general basic things that would need to be done. Okay, and I'll tell you why as I go through it. So first thing you want to do when you're opening up the dental office is arrive 30 minutes early. And some people may say, oh, you only need 10 minutes or you only need, 15. Whatever it is that they will allow you to come in and do, you want to do that. But I have to say, from my own experience, it took me a half an hour to an hour earlier to prepare for the day, or maybe even to prepare for the week. Maybe on a Monday it took me an hour, and maybe every other day after that it was only a half an hour of things needing to be done at the beginning of the day. So no matter what, give yourself some extra time. That was just long. Give yourself some extra time to get things done properly. So in the morning, I come in, turn on all the computers, turn on all the lights, turn on the X-ray processing machine, turn on the autoclave, prepare the ultrasonic because it's empty in the morning, so you fill it up and have that going. The autoclave, if there was some instruments not sterilized the night before, you want to make sure that all the instruments are clean before you begin your day. So that's one of the first things I'll go and check. Make sure the instruments are ran and put away. You want everything stocked up in the right place before you get started. Then I go in every single operatory, and depending on the office you work in, you may need to do hygiene rooms, you may not. It depends on how things work in your office. So stock things in the operatories like gloves, masks, suctions, air water tips, um, impression material, trays, burrs, things like that, things that you know you're going to need. Stock them up. Make sure that they are overly stocked, not spilling out the drawers, but overly stocked so that hopefully it will last the entire day. Make sure the waters in every room, the water bottles are filled up completely, and um, print out your schedule. Then you want to prepare the operatories. Usually I'll set up whatever operatories I use for the doctor. So I'll prepare, if I had 3 ops, I would prepare at least 2 with the first 2 patients. Sometimes we'll leave the third room without anything but a basic setup for emergencies. Depending on where you work, you might even put that third person that's on your schedule in that third operatory. So it just depends on how you do things at the office where you're working. What else? Lab cases. Make sure all your lab cases are there. You probably checked this the night before, and that's great. But you want to double check it again. Make sure all the lab cases are pulled out. You've looked at the crown, the bridges, the denture, whatever it is. You've seen it. It looks good. And then you make sure that's good. If there was anything that wasn't there that was supposed to be there, you want to find the lab slip and call the lab immediately to make sure that they're going to have um, the crown or bridge or whatever the case is there at the office before the patient comes in for their appointment. So double check that, call the lab if needed. You want to, I'm sorry, checking my notes. You want to make sure you review the charts um, before the doctor's meeting in the morning. So the things that you'll be looking for is this a crown and bridge started today? You got to make sure you have a PA, periapical x-ray, of the tooth or teeth being worked on that's 1 year or less, that was taken 1 year or less. And you want to check and make sure you know where um, crowns are being set, bridges or denture cases, what lab are we using? Because a lot of times you may have several labs that you use for crown or bridge. So you want to make sure you talking to your doctor in the meeting about that. And normally we'll make note if there's patients who are pre-medicated. I know on my personal schedule I would put, a P for, make sure I double check that, and ask the patient if they took that. So I'm writing all these notes on the calendar. If I need to check medical history, of course, you make sure you note that. All different types of things you're checking for it when you're reviewing a chart. So those are a few things. And what else? So that's it for opening the dental office. Oh, one more thing. In the morning, and this depends on, you as a dental assistant in your office, but I like to check the messages that were left overnight, because if there was a cancellation, especially one of the patients in the morning, I want to make sure I don't set up for that. So I check the messages, but I also save them for the receptionist who's coming in later so she can go through and hear the same messages I listened to. And that's important to save those because she may need to call back and reschedule. Okay, so that is it for opening the dental office. Closing the dental office, you want to make sure that all the operatories are cleaned. Everything should be cleaned up. And the reason why we do this is because, OSHA, but also, what if there was an emergency in the middle of the night and the doctor had to come over and see a patient? It happens after hours. So we want to make sure that the operatories are clean. So if the doctor has an emergency, they are able to use it. So run the instruments, make sure the ultrasonic cleaner is drained, disinfected, so it air dries during the night. Run the instruments before you leave, but don't let the autoclave run while no one's in the office. That could be a fire hazard. So we always want to make sure when we leave the office, the autoclave is not running, it's turned off. Make sure we turn off the nitrous. Turn off the processor, empty the water bottles at the end of the night and drain the water from the lines. Run the vacuum suction cleaning material through the suction lines. Vacuum the office wherever there's carpet. And always check the bathrooms and make sure they're clean. If you have a cleaning company, then you don't have to worry about taking out trash or vacuuming or checking the bathrooms, because they'll do that for you if you have a cleaning company that comes in every night. If you have a cleaning company that comes in just once a week, guess what? You're the cleaning person every night. So you will need to vacuum and do all those things that I mentioned. Take the trash out, check the bathrooms, make sure they're stocked with toilet tissue, it's clean, for the next day. We also check cases at the end of the night for the next day. We check those cases, make sure we look at the schedule for the next day, pull the cases that are needed. If there is a case that is not there, we call and check with the lab to see when they're going to be bringing that case, because you want to make sure you get it before the patient comes in the next day. And then if, let's say the case will not be back before the patient comes in, then you need to let the receptionist know that we need to reschedule the patient's appointment so that they can be moved and they won't make that trip to the office without their case being there. So that's how that goes. We always, you can do some of the stocking of the operatories, like I mentioned at the beginning of the day. You can do your stocking at night if that's what you choose to do. And one important thing, at the end of the night, some people like to go, oh, I'm done, I'm leaving, bye. But the best thing to do is to check with your coworkers, see what they need help and assistance with, and help them. That's called teamwork. Make sure they're okay, and especially when you're leaving when it's dark, it's better to leave all in one group instead of one at a time for safety reasons. So check with your coworkers, help them out. And I know maybe you didn't do it, but it's just good to help each other out, because one day you're going to want that help when you're running behind. So go help each other out, whether it's the hygienist, another assistant, whatever the case is. Up in the front, I always ask the front office, can I file some things for you? If I see charts there, I don't even ask them. I just take them and file them. You know if they need to be filed. So, and then you ask everybody, what can I help you with? What can I help you with? and do that before you leave. And you definitely want to make sure that before you leave, you let people know that you're leaving. All right. So hopefully that helped you out, and it's a long video, so good luck out there. If you have any questions, ask me. I will try and answer it the best of my abilities. And yeah, like the video if you like the video, and talk to you later. Bye.